Devin Haney and Bill Haney videos don't make me much views, money, or anything like that. My channel in general doesn't make any money. So this is all out of love for boxing and love for the boxers. How you doing? My name is Devin, the artist. This is Boxing on Rap. Thank you for joining me one more time here in this makeshift studio. So if you're new here, please like and subscribe. And if you're older subscriber, thank you for once again tuning in and helping and supporting the channel. Hopefully you stay around. Now, listen. Bill Haney's a clown. He's just a clown. And the funny part is that he's still going around. Had to check the floor for a second. He's still going around trying to convince people that his son didn't get his ass whooped by Ryan Garcia, an out of shape Ryan Garcia. Okay, he wasn't in shape. He looked fat. He looked slow. He didn't have that speed and punch and pop. That first punch you ever threw was the only punch that really looked that fast. Okay. Now, the rounds that he's talking about, he showed you there, the 8 rounds that they gave to him. If you look at it, Ryan Garcia was inactive. He didn't throw anything. He didn't move. He was holding. He was leaning on Devin. He was just he wasn't doing anything. He was out of breath. There was nothing he could do. I mean, the guy didn't train, obviously, right? And then, so he shows the scorecard and says, my son on the scorecard still won 8 rounds to 4. Yeah, but in between those 4, it counted for 6 rounds, because in the 4 rounds that Garcia won officially, he decimated Devin Haney. He made Devin Haney look like he didn't belong there. He looked like he was in a clown show, okay? And that's the whole point of it. The point is not, that's why boxing has a 10-point must system, and that's why boxing, right, has a point deduction for falling during a fight if a punch makes contact. And whether it hurts you, buzzes you, or you just fall because of it, for whatever the reason, if the punch made contact and you go down, you get an extra point. That's it. Meaning the extra point comes via a deduction to the other fighter. That's how you can even up fights. That's why when you're behind in a fight, if you get a knockdown or 2, you can make it interesting. That's why, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson the King Fury was such an interesting fight, because Deontay was able to put him down in the first fight a few times and in the third fight. So that's what it's all about. So the fact that he even mentioned that is so damn ridiculous. Now, if you look at it here, he had 3 10-8 rounds. 3. I mean, the math is as simple. So I replied to this and I said to him, he never responded to me, but basically, if this were reversed and your son was the one that, was inactive, dropped 8 rounds, but out of the 4 rounds, he made Ryan look like a clown and was dribbling him off the canvas, left, right, and center, you wouldn't say, oh, look, they still beat us, though. You wouldn't say that. You would say, my son is the greatest. He pulled it out of the mouth of defeat. He showed he's a true champ. You would have said that. You would have not said that Ryan beat you fair and square, even though you got the decision. It would never go that way, because we're not stupid. We know how boxing works. We know how the 10-point must system works. And it's not our fault that a guy who was out of shape and just happened to be better than your son, when he finally fought somebody his height, his weight, his faster than him, even at as damn near fat he was and slower than he usually is, he still was faster, stronger, bigger, even though they weighed about the same, right? They weighed about the same fight night, but I think it's a 1 pound or 2 pound difference, right? So months and months and months later, Bill is still trying to convince the masses that his son, we did not see his son almost damn near trampled in the ring, to the point where lawsuits had to be filed. He had to go outside and fight carnies. They threw him a birthday party. Or not even a birthday party. It was a "You Still Matter, Son" party. That's that's the worst. That's the worst. Don't do that to your son, Bill. Bill, let it go. Let it go. Listen, you need to let it go, right? You need to get him back in the ring. But I have a feeling that the reason why we haven't seen him back in the ring is because either probably one, you're not happy with what you're seeing. He doesn't seem to have shaken up the cobwebs, and part of the PTSD that he probably has. And that's his big pressure, number two, for him to come back into the ring. Because we're all going to be watching to see how he looks. And I think the pressure now, because of you guys' fault, you could have just took this as an L. And you could have said, okay, the Austin was in the system. We got that. Okay, boom, boom. Made no more big deals about it. Moved on with your lives. Got the thing back and all of that. And it would have been fine. But you had to go out on a rampage and a rant and all of this stuff, only putting negative spotlight on your son. No matter what and when your son fights, he's going to be scrutinized to the T. And that might be weighing heavy on his mind. It might be really, really damaging to the point where he's going to try to hide that pain, hide that embarrassment, hide all of that, and have an awful showing, probably with the lowest denominator you can possibly find. Don't fight a Teofimo. Don't fight anybody in the top 4, 5, 6. None of those guys. You need a top 30 in the lower end of that barrel because you need to build that boy's, like, I'm pretty sure he's devastated. You're going to have to rebuild his confidence back. And listen, he has to look good, and you have to take the criticism that you're fighting a tomato can because he needs to get his confidence back because I'm telling you right now, Devin is probably a broken fighter mentally. I actually gain respect that now when I didn't know all the other stuff that came out later. Like, yo, Devin took that beating like a man. He kept getting up. Like, bro, like, that's a dog right there. Like, you got to kill that kid. Next thing you know, Bill destroys all of that. Even in a loss, we were like, yo, Devin's a real one. Now we're like, Devin's just devastated. Like, he's just decimated. Bill, you're doing him a disservice. You're not helping your son. You're not helping your son. You're thinking you're helping, but you're not. You're just going to damage his brand in a different way, but in the same way as Shakur damaged his own. But let me know in the comments down below, what do you think that his brand is damaged because of Bill Haney? Of course it is. Of course it is. But do you think in this case that he should keep going and try to explain away this devastating loss that we all saw him take? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think is supposed to happen now with Devin Haney? And when do you think he'll be back in the ring? And I'll see you in the next video. And I'm out. Peace.